All right, welcome back everyone. I have got the Expert Grill, and I did this in the past before for the Charbroil Grill. This is pretty much, as far as I can tell, this is the replacement for the sub $100 grill that you can go to your local Walmart and pick up right now. So I picked this up, and we're gonna put this thing together. So this one is the cheapest one that you can get that's like an actual stand-up grill. It is the 3-burner, which you can get a 4-burner, 5-burner, whatever, they just get bigger. So this is the one I got, 96 bucks. Let's take it out of the box and see what's inside. So this is everything out of the box with all the wrappings and whatnot taken off. It takes quite a bit of time, but this is all the things that you're left with. So let's get started with step 1. Doggo is here to help. All right, so let's get started. First 2 pieces we get started with is part number 2 and part number 4. Part number 2 is this funky looking piece, and it's got your little secondary striker kit on there. And then part number 4 is one of these long ones, and it's got that little bolt that's welded in there. So these are gonna be placed like so, and you're going to take this one and put it inside here. So it looks like that, and that's step 1. We're basically halfway there, guys. Next up, we are gonna grab this beautiful little faceplate that it has on here, the Expert Grill. We're gonna grab that, and we're also going to grab 2 of the 25s, which are these. They're like the wing nut bolt looking doohickeys, so 2 of these. So back to the merchandise here, we've got the little foot down here on the bottom. That's eventually where our wheel's gonna be. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna swing it up like that. And this piece, the nameplate, is gonna go right up here, and we're gonna line it up with these 2 holes. Not this silver threaded one, but this hole and this hole is gonna line up with the 2 on the side here and here, and then we'll take the little wing nuts and put them in on this side, so it'll look like this once you get it started, and then I just need to tighten these up, and we'll be good. So next, we're going to get the other side here. So we're gonna go grab the other one that looks just like the one we did. This one is number 1. It'll have the 1 sticker on there. And then we're also gonna grab another one of these, but as you can see, this one has the foot on it. This one's the number 3. So this is how it's going to be put. This one's gonna go right inside here like it did before. See how this is oriented down? And the foot is pointed this way, just like my foot. It's gonna be pointed long ways like that. So once we put this together, it's gonna flip up, and it'll be the second side here. Just make sure that when we put these together, see how these are angled down together? You don't wanna have it flipped off somewhere else. And just like I said before, this is how we're gonna have it set up. So it is facing down at that angle at the top. Here, we're gonna put these together, and the 2 things that you're gonna need is this hook right here, that's gonna look like that, and of course another one of those little wing nut things. And once you get it started, it's gonna come together, it's gonna look like this. Make sure your foot is poked out that direction. And then this little hook, all it's gonna do is gonna pop right in there before you completely tighten it all the way up. Next up, we're gonna finish this little stand off and put the 2 legs missing. So we're gonna get the 3, so this is the foot. This time that little curve point out is gonna be pointing away. So this side's gonna be pointing this way, this one is pointing this way, and it's gonna be the same thing with these ones. So this little dowel is gonna be facing out, and then when we put this foot on, the number 4, it's gonna be facing out towards the opposite end. So once you're finished, it's gonna look like that. The feet are facing out like this, and just like that. So now that this is coming along, we're gonna grab this piece and 3 of these little wing nut things, and this is basically the back bracing that's gonna go on this side. So let's get that swung around. All right, so we are back here at the rear. So this is the faceplate. Facing the other side, you can see the logo. And I have this rear brace that I have right here. So on the inside, on both of them, it's kind of hard to see, but on the inside, it has a little arrow that is pointing up. Up just means exactly up. If it's facing down, make it face up towards the top of where the grill will be, so this way. And we're gonna put it in, and we're gonna line it up. See that silver thread right there, and then there's a hole right under it. There is 2 holes in this, so top hole goes there, bottom hole goes there, and then there's also another hole in the bottom, but we were not to get to that one yet. We're gonna put this right in the center, and we're gonna put 2 of the wing nuts right up top. So just these top ones, we're gonna put them through. All right, we are almost finished with this stand. Next up, we are going to be grabbing this one. Now this one's different from the one that we have over here, which might as well put this up here and we can link it in. It's kind of hard, everything's flimsy right now. That one can be linked into this one up here. But this little hook, we're gonna put this end, is really hard to see, but there's a small hole up in here. We'll put it like that and just leave it to the right so it locks into place. And then on this side, we'll get the hook and we'll bring it around so it hooks into this piece up here, like so. Hook it into that. Of course, everything needs to be tightened up. Then once this one's in over here on the right-hand side, of course, we've got to put a little wing nut screw into here, pass it through the other side, and then get it popped into here. Again, everything is nice and loosey-goosey until we get things nice and tight. So that one I'm just gonna get started, just like everything else. And the last one, these two over here on the bottom, so this is the back right. We've got one more piece that we need to put up. It's this piece like this. Again, it has an arrow that needs to be facing up. So we're gonna have it just like this, facing the outside. And this is gonna be your last little brace down here. And then of course, the wing nuts just go straight through that. All right, stand is in standing condition. The next step is to come over to our little thing of parts. We're gonna find this one, which is a C, which is only 2 pieces. And these two are going to go, again, we're still here on the back. That top one that used to have the silver threaded portion, so right in here, those are where those go. And once that's complete, we're going to grab our stand and we're going to rotate it. And for this one, we're gonna need this funky looking piece here. This one is going to go in between and be a brace on the bottom. You can see that the screws in here are already provided. So we can take those screws, we don't have to take them out. We just have to back them in because they're gonna fit right here in those little grooves. And once we get that, and that is put into place, then we'll get the last 2 of our little wing nut screws, and we're gonna put them through this hole, through the other side, and it's going to get all of this together into one. And for this one, I just figured out there is a right way and a wrong way. So all of these little grooves and whatnot, totally fine. It all comes out to the middle. However, at the very end, you can see that this one has a little threaded piece on the outside, and this one just has a hole. The hole needs to be towards you if you're looking at it like this. So the little wing nut thing is gonna go through there, pass through this, and then on the other side, thread into this piece. So it needs to be fit like so onto here. Boom. All right, let's make this thing mobile. So we need both of our wheels on both sides, these little nubs that are sticking out, and the nut that goes on there is the F2. So these are the F and 2 pieces. Just like that. I mean, you stick it on there and then you put the nut at the end. If you want to know what size they are, if you have a socket, these are a size 13 millimeter. And if you have an adjustable wrench, then make it tight. And this is what it's gonna look like when you're done. Now, do not tighten these up too much or else the wheel will not spin. So if you have an adjustable wrench, put it on there so it's tight against this, and then you're going to turn it until it gets a little bit snug. You can lift this up and see how that spins freely. That's what you want, but you don't want too much play, and you also don't want it too tight to where the wheels don't move, because if you tighten that all the way up, then there's no use in having the wheels because they're not gonna spin. Now that we have the wheels on, we're gonna grab this and we're gonna rotate it back so we're in the back again. And this is gonna be our next piece. It's this metallic looking funky doohickey guy. Now this one is actually gonna go up here on the left-hand side. So these holes, or these, not really, well, square holes, these little locking tabs are gonna go in there. So we're going to put these up and squeeze them just like that so they're in there. Boom, done. All right, so we're switching around again. We are on the front side, and then over here to the right where we have our wheels, our next piece is this weird Mickey Mouse looking doohickey metal thing. So it has an arc. This arc is gonna go on the inside like that. And if you look right in here, there's that strange looking piece on both sides. So this one is a standard circle. The other one is the funky looking one that locks in. So this one is just gonna go in there regularly, chunk like that, and then this side is gonna be popped into this one. So now we get to move on to the fun stuff. So here is the handle for the grill, which we're gonna put in. This one already has the hardware in there. So we're gonna take out the screw, and when we take out the screw, it's also gonna take out this little bezel that comes with it. So let's take both of those out. So this is what it looks like when you take them out. So we're going to remove these. The bezel is going to be put on the outside here, and then you're gonna put, of course, that's gonna go over there, and then the screw is gonna come through on the inside and lock this into place on here. So I just got it lined up. So it's gonna be looking like this, bezels on the outside, and on the inside is where the screws are gonna go. But we still have one more piece, and that piece is this piece. I guess it's just a stabilizing piece for the inside. And when it goes in, it's gonna go in like this. So the tapering facing up, this is gonna be on the inside. So just straight up, just like that. And then you're gonna put the screws through this to secure that to the handle. And there you go, everything is finished up. Make sure it's nice and tight so you don't have any wobbles on there. So this is what it's gonna look like when everything is done. Here we go. Now, we need to get this whole unit, everything included. We're gonna pick this up and we're gonna place it on top of our rack that we just built. Okay, look at that. We are getting close. The next step is once you have it placed on there, be careful so it doesn't fall, but we're gonna pop this open, and you can see there is 2 holes here, here, and then 2 holes on the other side, here and here. That's how, maybe scoot it over a little bit so they line up better. But we're going to line those up, make sure you can see through them, and we're gonna secure the grill top to the stand. And we're gonna go to our little parts here. We're gonna use all 4 of the A's, and we're gonna use all 4 of the E's, so the washers and the screws. And just to make this easier on us, we're gonna go ahead and put the washers over the screw, and then the little screw here is gonna go straight in, and of course, just tighten them down. Once we're finished there, we're going to put in the drip tray. So we're gonna grab this bracket to hold it. The last 2 of our little hardware set over here. So the 2 D's and the 2 B's, so our screws and washers. It's gonna be the same thing as we did before. We're gonna put those screws inside the washers, and then inside here, I'll show you where the holes are, and they're gonna come through the very bottom. You can see those 2 holes right there. Their screws are gonna come down there, and they're going to thread into these holes. So here we are on the inside of the grill. As you can see, there's the 2 holes there. So I'm gonna place these screws on the inside. Now we're gonna jump down to the bottom, and you can see they're right there poking out. So we're going to take this bracket, as you can see, this is facing towards me, so long ways like that. We're gonna place it up here. We're gonna thread it through that and tighten it up. Once we are all finished, nice and tight, we're gonna grab the drip tray, which is this little guy here, and we're gonna set it on the inside, slide it, pop it into place. There's your drip tray. All right, almost done. So let's get the outside finished up with the 2 side like little plates helping. I don't know what the heck these things are called. So they're exactly the same, except this one has these little hooks riveted in for your goodies. You can see it's on the left-hand side. You can, I'm pretty sure, just interchange them because they should be exactly the same. But I think they did this on one side only because your propane tank is gonna be over there. You kind of don't want things potentially smacking into it. So this one's gonna be over on the left-hand side. So it's gonna be here. And as you can see, we already have some screws pre-existing in there. So we're gonna back these screws out. And as you can see on here, we're going to pop them into this hole, and then it's gonna slide down, and then we tighten them up. All right, you can see there, and over on that side, we have backed them out. Now we're just gonna pop this over the top here, which is kind of hard to see, but it's gonna pop in that bigger hole. There it goes. And then we're gonna slide it down. And once you get it into place, you can see this is the underside. So pops in through that big hole and then just slides down. Now that I have everything in place, I can tighten these screws up and do the same thing on the other side. This one's a pretty easy step. So these knobs, we're just gonna pop these knobs on. You can see the shape that is, and then the shape of this on the inside. So basically brand new out of the box. It's gonna be right where that logo is, just like that. I definitely secure it on the back since this thing is just a thin piece of metal, and then just kind of work it in there and push it in. So there is our 3 burners. Now we need to grab our little black cover here, and we're gonna place these over each one. That little lip is gonna go into that hole, and then it's going to be the same for each one of these. Just like that. Now, strangely enough, I guess they're all supposed to be slanted like that, because there's nothing else for it to sit on except for that piece right there. So I guess that's just how they go in. So of course we cannot forget the actual grill bit. Boom, done. That was a hard step. And now it's time for the secondary, the upper grill. So we're gonna get this. You can see there's long little dowel prong doohickeys at the end. Pop that in, pop that, come on, in. Easy as pie, you just center it. Next up, we're gonna grab this, which is our last piece. We're gonna have to go underneath this first one. So you can see there's a little dip in here. So we're gonna go underneath this and we're gonna feed it all the way through to the other side. And when you're done, it's gonna look like that. So first one goes under, and then all the way through. So both sides are gonna have this little thing flopping around just like that. And then we're gonna need to put that through this hole, and then the other side we're gonna need to do the same thing, but it's going to be a little bit of a squeeze since you have to bend that. And once you get that bent into place, everything just kind of fits together, no more falling off. And that's how you know everything is working right. Now we have a functioning grill, except for the gas. And now that we have it all done, we need to put the propane tank in to make this thing actually work. So go to the store, grab a propane tank, take the little cap thing off. And the way that this works is these 2 little slits down here are going to go onto that. So it's round, it'll fit onto there, hopefully. And then this thing right here, this middle piece, I'll show you what it looks like, but this middle piece is gonna be, it's like a little U. It's gonna hook onto this like that. But this is heavy, not doing it with one hand, so I'm gonna pop it onto here. Well, now that I have it on here, I kind of figured out that I put this on the wrong way. So this is upside down and it needs to be faced the other way. And it's gonna look just like that. So if you can see, all I did was just slide that down. It's nice and snug. The bottom is in both of those little cutouts, and this thing is nice and solid. Now we just need to get this piece, fling it over here, and screw that in. And once it is tightened on there, the grill is officially done. Now we just need to turn the knob and get cooking. But I'm not gonna show you guys me cooking, because that's kind of strange and not what this video is about. So I hope you guys enjoyed. That is the final product, our beautiful Expert grill. Hopefully this thing lasts a very long time. I don't see anything issues with that. What about you? You think? No, she likes the Rhino. Well, if you guys like the Rhino, like the video, subscribe. I really don't care. But I will see you guys in the next video for more random ass content.